season has started. It started yesterday. The Italian Serie A has started. The Bundesliga started last week. The French League also started last week. I'm sure all of you have had a few or have seen some of the games. The best place to start from, I know all of you are waiting to have a bite, but let's start from Spain. Okay. You know, we're having this discussion off air about the fact that, okay, so they activated all these levers for what we saw on Saturday. Dave, you tell us what you think about that game. Let's look at Barcelona in their first game.
You know, given how they had to literally sell off everything, I'm pretty sure Laporta has even sold his father's inheritance he's been given to practically get the club to register all of these signings. There was a lot of anticipation. You listen to the commentary around Camp Nou, everybody was in that stadium. It was packed to the rafters. Jersey sold out. There was a lot of expectations.
Lots of money made.
Lots of money made.
Yeah.
Exactly. But the expectation wasn't met. And that was a pretty much disappointing showing. To think of the fact that Rayo Vallecano have been unbeaten against Barcelona in their last 3 encounters, leaves much to be desired. Xavi perhaps struggled to get the very best out of that attacking unit, chopped and changed. Rafinha, Dembele started off. Then at some point, Ansu Fati came in. You clearly saw Robert Lewandowski for most parts of the game was isolated. Didn't have... And Barcelona, I think, were very much lucky to have escaped. If Rayo took their chances, it could have been a whole different story. And so for me, it was very much the game that was met with a 90 climax because Barcelona didn't turn up on that particular day. And given how everybody's expecting them to have or give Real Madrid a run for their money, I don't think that's not how it started. It may be early days yet, but...
Oh, but Dave, don't you... Hey, Percy, first game.
But you've got to send that impression. You've got to lay down the marker.
I think we've all agreed that first game, second game, third game, practically they're still in that preseason mode. I don't know what he's saying.
They're not in preseason mode.
He's saying that David's saying that they didn't literally show him that they can give Real Madrid a run for their money. What do you think?
I'm just listening to you, man. The funny thing is that this is the first time in 3 years. In fact, back to back, you've not scored. Barcelona has not scored a goal in their first match. Yeah. It is not the scoreline that I'm concerned about. It's the
performance.
Play. Okay.
And there was much talk that, okay, Lewandowski... I remember one of our episodes, they were like, between Lewandowski and
Karim Benzema,
who would win the goal king. And one of the things that... Was he you were talking about the fact that Benzema had been in the league. He knows the terrain, so he was going to
adapt quickly.
And we're like, no, Lewandowski is a serial scorer. True. And the funny thing is, Bundesliga is aeons behind Bundesliga. Bundesliga is aeons behind La Liga. It's not
necessarily.
No, let's not go there. It's not like we are not going there.
Let's not go there.
It is a truth that lays in your eyes. It's not about let's state it. Bundesliga has never been close to La Liga in about 20 years.
We accept.
Yes. And the fact that you bought Lewandowski was already playing in a system. Bayern had a system. And for Bayern's system, it's not a system of holding on to the ball. It's a system of giving the ball to the target man by the wingers playing. Barcelona does not play that system. They play a system that the midfield controls the game. The wingers are simply auxiliary forwards who come in from left and right. Bayern did not really do that. So Lewandowski would actually take some time before he adapts. And the thing said about the fact that this is the first game in the season and blah, blah, blah. The first game in the season really counts.
Oh, okay, Percy. This is what I think. As much as you look at their performance and it's much to be desired, I think that just like we've all admit, it would take some time for these players are practically...
Why do we need some time?
I'm coming. Okay. These players need time to gel. You bought Frankesi, you bought Christensen, you brought in Rafinha, you brought in Lewandowski.
But if you think these players need time to gel, why shouldn't you have waited? And why were you pulling the levers left, right, center?
I think we've all, Dave. Let's not belittle or muddy the waters. We've all understood and accept that unless you want Barcelona to go and play with babies. Again, let's talk about the game. This is where I think that Xavi got it all wrong with how he set the team up. He decided to go with a 3-4-3 formation, where I feel that, no, that's very wrong. If you have so much quality in attack, what you have to do is make sure he should have played the players that he started last season or he ended last season with. I feel that he should have played Robert Lewandowski from the bench, where he probably studied the game better, know how to come in and all that.
But to
throw him,
Barca would have played with
no,
kids.
No.
Who exactly are you expecting?
For that, I won't agree with you.
Who exactly are you expecting?
They are not playing. What do you call it? Real Madrid or something. This is a Rayo Vallecano. No. You are talking about Lewandowski. He has played. No, listen. It's not like you bought him. It's not like listen to me. It's not.
We're having a conversation.
Yes, and I'm saying that it's not like you bought him a week and he's starting this.
He's had preseason with the team.
He started preseason. So let me give you an example. Let me give you a simple example.
Are you one of those people who subscribe to the fact that preseason games are determinants?
He is a big player, and this match is not a big match. This is Camp Nou. This is Camp Nou.
This is Rayo Vallecano, for crying out loud.
Yes. Last season, United bought Cristiano Ronaldo. I want to give you an example. We are talking about elite players here.
Percy.
This is the world. No, this is the world best player.
Percy.
Listen to me, please.
Let's not do this.
No.
Barcelona.
This is the world best player.
The fact that Robert Lewandowski walks into this Barcelona team, and everybody knows that he has a first team slot.
Yes,
does not mean he should start the first game.
This is Rayo Vallecano.
When you use the word he should.
How big of a game is Rayo Vallecano for Robert Lewandowski?
My point is
to start from the bench.
If you do not know, this is a new terrain, and you've admitted to the fact that...
What I am trying to tell you is, I was talking on the basis of winning the goal king.
Come on,
and I gave you an example that United bought Cristiano Ronaldo.
Dave.
And he started in the first... They bought him within the course of the week. And he started the weekend.
You've seen Barcelona. I don't know if you have seen Sevilla. Did they convince you that they can be either the third force or that fourth force in the La Liga?
I would say pretty much for Sevilla it would be too early. And I say too early in some context because they've lost quite a lot in that defense. To lose Koundé, to lose Diego Carlos, and they had literally had to play with makeshift centre backs. Karim Rekic was the better of the two who actually played as centre. Milan Gudeli has always been a central defensive midfielder, but he had to just come in there in case of cover. So I think it will be pretty much early to have a word or have an opinion on Sevilla yet. Let's give them some time. Let's get the entire team to put their act together. You would want to give them a shout. I think Isco going there should help. Last season was a very difficult season for Enesri. He had double figures the season prior. Last season, the goals ran out. Rafa Mir started up on Friday. And for me, he's not that man that should be your go-to striker. I think at some point he would fade off. He wouldn't give you the numbers. And if Lopetegui is able to weave his magic, get Enesri back to his full fitness where he was banging in the goals left, right, centre, I think that Sevilla we witnessed some seasons ago will be the Sevilla that could pose a challenge.
A quick one on Sevilla. When I watched their game on Saturday, what I saw was missing was that defensive partnership between Koundé and Diego Carlos. Because you could clearly see that the mistakes that they committed in that defense, that defensive shape was not pardon. It's something that you cannot pardon them. Very, very unpardonable.
But you've got to give them some slack.
Exactly. So I feel with time, they will, and like I said, we've all agreed, it's early days yet. Barcelona, Sevilla, Atletico, Real Madrid are playing, Almeria, and all of that. Enough of the La Liga.
Let's cross town to Italy, and even though I don't like spaghetti, I'm a big fan of pizza, by the way. You look at the two Milan clubs, and both of them have delved the blow. They've laid down the gauntlet. Hey, if you can do this, I can do it better. Milan winning 4-2, Udinese over Udinese, and Inter Milan, Romelu Lukaku, he's back.
He's back. Let's to start off from Inter Milan, I think yesterday I was so impressed with Inter Milan. One of the players that clearly set the tone for Inter Milan, Çalhanoğlu, was excellent. Romelu Lukaku's movement. I've always said that if you have a player like Lukaku, you play to his strength. And if you watch Inter yesterday, anytime they get the ball, they look at Lukaku's runs and they pick him. And Matteo Darmian yesterday, ask myself, why did United let him go? Or did they didn't create a system that will fit him? Because yesterday he played the wing back role
excellently.
I was watching, is this the Darmian at Manchester United? But I think Inter Milan,
players do grow.
Inter Milan
with
have
time
set,
and all
have
of that.
set the tone. AC Milan yesterday, Mariano Diaz was awesome. He literally gave me a reason to think that if this guy plays for the Spanish national team consistently, Spain might cause a lot of stir in the World Cup, because yesterday, together with Theo Hernandez, they were brilliant for AC Milan. And AC Milan have not lost so much, apart from Frankesi. They've strengthened so much in defense, and I was surprised the defensive partnership that they've been able to put together. Pioli has been able to put together, but Ante Rebic yesterday was also quick in attack. But that one guy that would this season, the Serie A, we should be looking at is Mariano Diaz. I do not know what you think.
Yes, watching the 2 Milan clubs, of course, they are still the favorites since Milan won the league last season. And Inter had won it the previous season, so we're expecting them go neck and neck. And one thing that I see AC Milan having an upper edge over the other Milan club, that is Inter Milan, is their strength in attack. For that of Inter Milan, you can talk of Lukaku, you can talk of Lautaro Martinez, and after these two, Alexis Sanchez has left.
Yeah,
has left. So
they do have the Dumfries. Yesterday he came on to score the winning goal for them.
But can you compare it with? Of course, you have they have Origi.
Milan have Origi. Milan have
Diaz.
Ibrahimovic. They have Diaz.
You have Ibrahimovic.
They still have
Olivier
Giroud.
as well, yeah.
And this young boy Rafael Leao, you have him. So now with and the funny thing is that the way they ended last season, they started the season in the same way. And last season we saw Serie A being one of the most, in fact, the most exciting, because it went
down to the wire.
Yes, of course. Premiership also gave you a run for that. And like you said, AC Milan was quick to fix the Frankesi situation. And one
they brought him, what's his name? Is it Messias? Yes, he's the one that actually replaced
And the one thing that I've realized about them is that for the last 2 seasons, they've really lost big. First, last season, they lost Donnarumma, and they brought in Magnan. And bringing him in, he wasn't someone who was really known. And he was one of the reasons why they won the league.
Then they lost Çalhanoğlu as well.
They lost him, of course. Çalhanoğlu, he lost the chance to win the Serie A. He went the other way. And with what they have. And one thing I am seeing is that AC Milan might not be the AC Milan that we knew of the 2000s with the Pirlo and the Gattuso and all the players.
But they still have a solid unit.
But the spirit and the format with which the original AC Milan plays, a solid back four, an excellent defender. They have a very tight midfield. All they need is a striker who can just be there.
You actually fancy the two going neck and neck again this season?
Exactly. I actually fancy the two
neck and neck. But I wouldn't really want to rule out Lazio.
You wouldn't want to rule out Lazio?
If there was any team, maybe. If there was any team,
I wouldn't talk about Napoli.
Roma.
No, I was coming to talk about Lazio and AS Roma. A team like Napoli, I would never reach out.
Maybe it will be too early to run the rule on them yet. Let's wait and see. Probably next week we could have a better picture after
Juventus was done playing.
For the Juventus, they will always be favorites.
It wasn't picture perfect in Paris though.
Of course, and
2 penalties and. Even though Neymar did get the hat trick and there was lots of celebration, I think there was that moment that mad the entire.
The funny thing is
he growing arrogant?
For Kylian Mbappe, you see, there is this one thing that is happening, especially with respect to young the prodigies who are coming.
No. Is he growing arrogant? Because I
always don't want to associate arrogance to the person's performance.
Let's hit the nail on the head. He popped up as a star.
He's not bigger. than he's not. When I bring him close to Messi, it's sacrilegious. So I wouldn't say he's not bigger than Messi. That one is sacrilegious. But with respect to Neymar, he is not bigger than Neymar.
He's not bigger than Neymar. The
He's
fact
not
that you've won the World Cup
I
does not
didn't
mean you
want
are
to
bigger
bring him
than
close to
Neymar.
Messi because that would be blasphemous.
But you see, I think we'll be again, it's too premature for anybody to think that Kylian Mbappe throwing tantrums means that he's growing.
But this is not the first time. This is not the first time.
We know of accounts of his misbehavior during France's Euros campaign.
There are certain players, big players who are achievers, who want to win, that when they feel that things are not going their way, they throw tantrums and all of that.
To the extent of heckling your teammate for a penalty.
We've seen that happen
in the
before.
team. In the team, you have Messi, you have Neymar, you have yourself. Mm-hmm. Every single one of them is a potential PK taker.
Yeah.
You get the first penalty, and you waste it. And the second penalty comes. There is Messi and there is Neymar, and you expect the ball to be given to you.
I think that we are.
No, I'm not saying that
I'm not saying
this is something we are blowing out of proportion.
A mountain out of an anthill. I think it's too premature for us to think that his attitude is becoming because of the new contract he signed.
Of course, of course.
I'm tempted to believe. But there were rumors that suggested there's a clause that gave him power more than the coach and all of those things.
I do not speak to those kind of rumors and all of that.
I'm not really a fan of rumors, but given his behavior on Saturday,
it's one of those things. Messi has done it before. Ronaldo has done it before.
Well, maybe.
But is he in the stead of these?
As we speak, he's the biggest player in the French national team. Come on, who is bigger than?
You're saying he's bigger than Benzema?
Oh, he's bigger than Benzema.
Seriously?
Well, he's bigger than Benzema.
The debate could definitely go out there.
Before we probably check out, Bayern Munich, they've started the Bundesliga on a good note. Just this evening, they dispatched
starting the Bundesliga on a good note looks like
it's wrapped up.
It's one of those.
It's one of those repeated themes where you feel like
won the league 10 consecutive years.
Who do you think in the German Bundesliga, looking at the signings Leipzig have done, some shrewd signings?
Hey, by the way, Werner hit the ground.
Exactly. You look at the signings Borussia Dortmund have done. Those Sebastian Halle will not play, but there's Adeyemi in there. They've also done
as well.
Yes, who do you think between Leipzig and Dortmund will pose the biggest challenge to
The funny thing is that I don't know why we always mention Dortmund, because the second biggest team in Germany is Schalke. It's not Dortmund.
But as we
speak,
yes, exactly.
And the funny thing is that I never want to speak to Dortmund because consistently they've always pose.
So between
especially
Leipzig and Dortmund, a quick one, who do you think will pose the biggest challenge?
Between Leipzig and Dortmund. What I want to tell you is that
pick one.
They would pose, irrespective of
who do you think will push?
Irrespective of whichever I pick.
Who do you think will push?
I would
maybe we could have a mini battle
because
between
they
Leipzig.
have Christopher Nkunku in there. I still think Leipzig will be the one.
What I'm trying to say is that whether I choose Leipzig, I choose Dortmund, I choose Mönchengladbach. The funny thing is that the league it's been wrapped up.
It's been wrapped up.
It's been wrapped up.
It's match day 2 in Germany, and we already think the league has been won.
Of course. It's the same thing. It's deja vu.
Let your comments flow. Who do you think would pose the biggest challenge to
Bayern Munich? Maybe this season we could have a different winner.
Maybe I'm good for Mönchengladbach.
Just let us know in the comment section. Comment on the show and on the La Liga. Do you think that Barcelona did not impress, or it's just early days to actually write them off? And do not forget to subscribe to Sports 101 channel. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on Instagram. Put on the notification bell. When we drop any video, you'll be notified, and watch our videos. We are doing this show with you. Let your comments, your feedback come in. And my name is Lucky Soglu, and he is
David Afful.
Pesiboni.
Okay, so we'll see you again next time.